Anyway, I've checked all your emails. Shall we just get on with it and then we
Yeah,
can
just
see
carry on
maybe
because we have short time
finish.
today. Yeah, yeah.
No problem. You know what? Maybe we can try to finish all four. I'll just go quickly, okay?
Okay.
See, because for number 3, I've already corrected it. So
Okay.
in case we don't have time, then I've just fixed it anyway, so that at least you can see. I'll show you quickly before we finish anyway. Let's just get on. So
Okay.
the first thing is this message from Norleen. I just commented on this because I think maybe you want to learn from her email. This is not right to say you may. That's giving you permission. You may refer. So I would say it's not you, but she could say, for example, please refer, and then to. And also highlight my comments, because it's more than one comment, and then highlighted. Yeah? So just a few mistakes that Norleen made. Please find attached this one. I think you should put here for December. The sales analysis for December.
Do you share the work file in this Zoom?
Can you not see it?
I cannot see it. Have you shared? Did you
Yeah.
share? Do you share?
Okay, hang on, I'll do it again then. That's strange. How about now?
Oh, yeah, good. Already. Yeah, I see them. I see this. Thanks. Okay, thanks.
All right. Okay, that's interesting.
No problem.
You see, what happened is, this time, I tried something that I've never done before. Is I opened the document before you entered the room. So that means that if I open the document before you come in, you can't see it.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I didn't
No
realize that you
problem.
couldn't see it.
No problem. No
Anyway,
problem.
you can see
Right now.
Norleans. I've just changed Norleans, okay? And
Thanks.
then this here, you need to just add for. It's the analysis for December, right?
Right.
And then your question, I think this is not your question, this is Norlean's question, right? Please explain. Actually, this is not a question. So it shouldn't have a question mark. It should be, I know it's not yours, but Norleen should just use a full stop. Because it doesn't start with the question word what, it starts with please explain. And then if you ask the question like this, you could say, sorry, let me just, okay. So she could also write like this, what do CSS ... stand for? Then that would be a question. But if you say please explain, then we don't use the word do. It should be please explain what these things stand for. Yeah. But notice that she's used do stand, and you've used is stand. So this is not right. It's not passive voice. You need an S after stands, right? So you have the same mistake in all of them. Maybe I don't need to correct all of them, right?
No need.
Just the same, okay? But you because I think this is already finished, this email, right?
Already finished.
Already finished.
Yeah.
So you just want to learn from it. So notice that you have the same mistake that when you use stand for, you're using is with it for some reason. Here you have which, and this one should be with a comma, because this is non-defining. Okay, and then also refer should be with the S, refers to. And then I think this should be the next one at this time. I think that should be a new sentence. You see that you've got the first part, CCS stands for this, which refers to this. At this time, IEV has 2 types. So it's a new sentence, not with a comma. When you say at this time, do you mean at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. At this time is okay. That's okay. Code. You need the code because it's a noun. And then you've got two things because you've got wax tape and this anode galvo string. So it shouldn't be is. It should be are. Are wax tape. So there are two types. So not which is, but which are. And then the same thing with the next one, stands for, which refers to, and then the same with the code. So just exactly the same mistakes, right? Then the next one, DWS is stand for same thing, which refers to, so again the S. Cutting should be more than one project, right? Cutting projects, including selling diamond wire, and doing cutting services is okay, but normally we provide, so I'm providing cutting services. When you're talking about services, you can use doing services, but it's not really the best verb. It should be provide services. I think this one, I remember that this is something that we've talked about before. We've corrected this kind of content before, right?
Before, but slightly changes about the content. Our side changed some content to and revise to my clients. So just take this for a revision. Yes.
No problem. I can see that you've changed some things because there are some things that I corrected before and now you've fixed those things.
Yes.
There are some things that you still have the same mistakes as before.
Really?
Like in the first one, I don't think you should be referring to. I think it should be according to.
How can we in which scenario we use referring, scenario we use according? Yes.
Okay, according to means where we get the information from. So if I say, according to Perry, this is correct. That means Perry says that this is correct. If I say, according to my dictionary, this is the spelling. That means the dictionary tells me. If I say, according to, I'm not sure, but I think you mean according to our understanding and not S. Just according to our understanding. Normally we don't use understanding in a plural way. So it should be just according to our understanding of our audit experiences. But also, do we need this? I would just put all of this in brackets here. I don't think we need this. Sorry. I think it should be here. Then you just have like that. According to our audit experience. Is that right?
Right. Makes sense.
I think we don't need according to our experience. Or we could do like this. Our understanding based on our audit experience. So it's an understanding that is based on our experience. That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Also, I think it shouldn't be experiences. I think it should be just experience because here you're talking about an uncountable noun. Experience, you can have one experience, two experiences. But here you're talking about your general experience of dealing with IEV International Limited. Yeah? Our audit experience not to, but I guess with. Because it's your experience with this company. Yeah? Or it could be experience, or maybe you could use of working with. Maybe that's what you mean. Okay?
Okay.
Then the next one, I'm not quite sure about this one, but I think weekly time sheet reports record the job times which are mutually agreed. Again, I'm not sure, but I think this should be uncountable. Not uncountable, non-defining.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think you're defining which job times you're talking about. I think you're talking about all of the records of job times, and you're adding information. By the way, these are mutually agreed and countersigned by IEV and clients. And then here, I've just noticed you have also that are. I think here you should also use which, because you cannot use that after a comma. And then you just miss your full stop. Don't forget to check the full stops. The reason is that it's okay. You could also write something like this is because. More common, just to say like that, simpler English. Now, the next one with like, I'm not quite sure. IEVMA is an invoice, is it?
It's a job number.
A job number, okay.
Okay.
So when you say, especially at the initial stage like this, that means that IEVMA is the initial stage that you're referring to.
Yes, this job is under this stage, under this initial stage. Yes. Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering, do you mean like this? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
So you're not saying that IEVMA is an initial stage. You're saying that we're highly aware. It's important to understand and test the basis, especially at the initial stage, in the same way as with this job, IEVMA. I would say as with. But if you mean, then you're using IEVMA as an example of an initial stage, and that I don't think that's what you're trying to say. Okay. Now here, you have a little bit of something strange, because you have as, when the risk is higher at cutoff, then you've got as. So that's your yanwei. Where is your soyi?
And results.
Where's the result?
And results in, yes.
So do you see that you can't do that? You can't use as and then and to present the result. As the setting of the flexible margin directly affects the recognition of the job costs, delete and put this results in. So that means that as is your conjunction to introduce the cause, and then you don't need a conjunction to introduce the result. It's like you're saying yanwei and then ganju, something like that. So I guess you're using the word and to mean something like ganju. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah? Okay. So the first thing is, remember that we just use one conjunction to connect 2 points. Harry, are you okay?
Okay, I'm okay. I'm very
you're
okay.
thinking hard. Okay, cool. Do you remember that the difference between it and this?
I think this is the bad referencing. I need to use bad referencing. Yeah, this, yeah.
What's the difference? If you use it or
is talking this point only.
Exactly. Whereas if you use it, it refers to a noun. But here you're not referring to a noun, you're referring to a whole point. The fact that the cost is this and the profit is this. Okay. I remember correcting this one before. Not may feel difficult, but this should be may find, and not this, but find it difficult. May find it difficult. we've got that 好難做呢啲嘢 something like that. 對佢好辛苦 something like that. And then when you use because, if your 2 points are very short, you don't need a comma. But if one of your points is quite long, and then you have because, it's best to put a comma before the because, yeah? Usually the real original third-party suppliers. Why real? I remember we talked about this before. I think just original. Is there any reason to use real?
No reason, actually, no reason. Just I want to say the real is the real because the real. I want to say the real because sometimes they have some related party supplier. They are not real. Yeah, they put some middleman, for test evaluation purpose, not real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, maybe you want to include it. I don't know, but it seems to me original seems enough.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you need it. Maybe it's important. Cost. I think you just need an S on costs. Whoops. Sorry. What did I do?
Okay.
Do you see that all of these examples? I think you need to use costs rather than costs. Generally, you're talking in your work about more than one cost. There may be sometimes that you talk about one particular cost, but I think generally you're talking about costs here. And is this correct to use you receive? So IEV cannot know the real costs incurred until you receive. Is it the reader?
The reader, yeah. The financial controller, I want to say. Yeah, the company can do, or until the company, but very actually is IEV cannot know the real cost incurred until IEV receive the actual supplier invoice. But I want to mention
IEV, right?
I want to mention NG and non-E until NG until you.
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine then. So you is correct. The email is true exactly. Okay, that's fine then. Then the next part here we've got international issued. Here you've issued in the active voice, but it needs to be passive voice. So you need are formally issued because they don't issue themselves, right? The supplier invoices are formally issued. Now I remember this sentence, the next one, you are going to record. I think we said before something like, I understand that you intend to record the costs, again costs, in 2022 rather than 2021. Which is not really right here. You could say, and your original intention is good. Unfortunately, this operation I would change to this practice. Do you agree?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's an operation. I think it's a practice, a habit that they have. So I'd say I would call it a practice, and definitely affects because it's third person singular, so you need affects. Margins. I remember we talked about it before. It's more than one margin, right? A margin is only one. If you need two at least, right? Okay. The next one is that you've put "would you please," but you haven't put a question mark. So maybe you're thinking that the question mark is after Mr. Christopher Doe. But it's not, you see. The original sentence should be, would you please try to get the cost information from suppliers? And then because it doesn't, there's nothing about the following. You don't have the following cost information from suppliers. So I put here, based on our finding, this is her, right?
But I
The
also
parts in
want to,
blue
yes.
are- You want to check it? It's a
Check it.
findings. Findings, there are no costs from suppliers going to record, there are no costs going to be recorded in the year 2022. Remember that you can also say this in 2022, or you say in the year. If you put the word year, then you need to put the. Okay. And then here, margins again. Now, the next one is something I would suggest that you do like this. Just like I said to you last time, I remember that, see, you have, you start off, please send me, and then you have a few things, right? But you've also used send me. So it's a bit clumsy. After that, please send me this, right? And this, and then you don't use send me, and you have like this, so invoices, and then you have the last one. Oops, sorry, I put the and in the wrong place. So what then we need is, we don't use and for each one, so it's just like that. Much clearer, right?
Clear.
So the first one, the first bullet point, revised IEV INT. What's this hyphen you have here?
Hyphen.
Is that saying that's more detailed? The sales analysis is okay.
This is the file name, the Excel file name of IEV. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Four. Supporting, I think you just missed out the word documents. Is that right?
Right.
I know that sometimes you use a short form for supporting, but not in writing. I don't think you should do it in writing. Equipment is uncountable. So we can't say the equipment being rented are, it should be is. Because you can't count equipment. And since she's used here these two equipments, it should be these two pieces of equipment.
Okay.
That's how you count equipment. Just like furniture. You can't count furniture, so we also use pieces of furniture. Have no value in our book. Again, comma before as. Not it was, because we're talking about two, so it should be they were written off. Yeah? And then recall year 2019. I think just in you to remember that, right? I think it seems strange to say recall at the beginning. Maybe you can say like this, like you may recall in 2019, and then maybe like this for project number IEV INT, no has, because we've mentioned in 2019. And then where is no supplier? I don't know about where. Writing equipment, maybe could be for which there was. There were no supplier costs incurred. Yeah, 100% margin. 100% margin is correct. Not are, but is correct. Yeah. Okay, done.